Welcome to Fire Your Boss Fridays. We have a guest today. She's really far away from us. She's in Florida.
I'm gonna say, what is she really?
She's
I know,
on the
me
moon.
too.
Yeah, what's the what that lead up there, right? Here we do on Fire Your Boss Fridays. We talk about entrepreneurship, the fears that go along with entrepreneurship, sometimes the heartache, but also the successes and what it can offer you. And today, Lisa invited Talese, which is our daughter. She felt that it would be a
You
good.
had to look at me and check.
Is it our daughter?
Maybe. Are you sure? This is the Talese that we're talking about all the time, right? Yeah, that's her. Okay, good. Well, hey, welcome to the show, Talese. Talese is sort of our little prodigy when it comes to like entrepreneurship because we have 3 children. She has chosen to be an entrepreneur herself. So we're going to kind of dive into that, Talese. And I have a couple stories I want to share, but your mom has a few questions.
Oh.
So yeah, it's an opportunity to ask very intimate questions about her personal life live on camera. I'm kidding.
No, that's not the opportunity.
So how old are you, Talese, just for our listeners?
I'm 20.
20. Okay, so let's go over some of the things here. So do you have any questions you want to open up with, Lise? Did you have something in mind or a list that you have for me to hammer down on her?
How long has it been since you had a job with a boss?
J-O-B.
In your short lifespan?
2 years, maybe.
What was that job?
A housekeeper.
Oh yeah, tell us about that. So you were a housekeeper, right? Was that your first official kind of job? I mean, you're basically 20. So I mean, come on, how much could you have really accomplished since you were? I mean, yeah.
Hey, I accomplished
okay. Enough. We're gonna dive into it.
Housekeeper.
So we're gonna need you to open up a little bit about this job. What did you like about it?
My housekeeping job.
I remember you saying there were some things you did really enjoy. Like the people were cool.
Yeah, it was fun. It was all girls, so it was drama, but it was fun, and I like cleaning. So.
And they were nice houses, were they not?
Counters.
The nicest
Yeah,
houses
they were really
almost
nice
in
houses.
almost all of Utah, I would say, some of them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's pretty epic to experience, like where the good life is, right?
Yeah, we got to take home, like the people that stayed there would leave really expensive things, and we would get to take it home if they didn't.
You're like,
take it with
do
them.
You guys have a lost and found? Nope, nothing. There's nothing in the lost and
Not
found.
at all.
Sorry. Your purse? I haven't seen it. Gucci? Gray one?
Yeah,
no,
what?
I haven't seen that.
Nowhere. No, they hardly ever asked for their stuff back.
So what does that say?
They just went...
That says something sort of like, at some point you just like, there's just no value in possessions, right? Even money, no money. I mean, what does that say? There's some messaging there, don't you think?
I think the messaging is that they just went and bought a new one.
Right. That's it. Just like, why wait for it in the mail when Amazon will have it here faster than Talese will?
Yeah, exactly.
So, what would you say is your biggest accomplishment in your life up to this point?
Buying my house.
Yeah. Let's.
When you say your house, you live in this house?
No, I
what?
Bought a.
You bought a house? You're not living in it? What the heck?
You didn't know that? I bought a rental property in Odessa, Texas.
Okay,
last
great.
year.
Wonderful. So Talese, though, like as an entrepreneur now, and at least that's your vision, right? I mean, you don't think you'll ever like technically just work for someone, right?
No,
you have pretty
I
big
don't want
plans,
to.
right? Okay. And I know you have way bigger plans because you've shared them with me, and we'll get into that in just a minute. But one of the things I kind of want to share for a 20-year-old, like, and by the way, 20-year-olds nowadays, people might think, oh, they're not doing as great as like maybe we did back in the day, but I don't believe that to be true.
Talk about millennials.
Yeah, the millennials and stuff like that. I don't believe it to be true. I mean, they have access to this information. Most of the ones I talk to are they're pretty advanced in psychology, business, philosophy. A lot of them just, I think, ultimately through this connection that they have to the internet and these different platforms and how people are sharing. But for you, being in those big houses, did that sort of motivate you at all, or where do you think it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every
where do you think
day,
that came
I'm
from
like,
then?
why am I cleaning this person's house? This should be mine.
Yeah.
They'd have these crazy cars, and I'm like,
That's your thing. So that's your jam?
Mm.
Okay. She's so modest and humble. Look at you.
So do you know any of your friends or anybody else that's your age that has an investment property at this point? No. What do people tell you about it? Like, people around you have told you that it's not really possible, right? Or that you're too young to own a house?
They don't think that I'm too young to own a house. They think they're too young to own a house, even though they're maybe older
the same
than me.
age or whatever. Yeah. Is that weird?
Yeah, it's really weird. And then they're like, oh, I just can't do it. And I'll sit there and I'll be like, well, you could do it this way and this way and this way and this way or this way. And they're like, I just still can't do that. And I'm like, so do you think I'm just lying about that I did it? Because I'm sure you can.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times, I mean, they might think that you got kind of a break, like in a sense where
a handout.
I think that's the case for a lot of people. I think they think that I got it handed to me, but.
So let's talk about this. So you did have something handed to you. Let's talk about the $5,000 you were given to buy a car. This was your first car, right? And this is the part of the story that I love and I actually share with lots of people because I'm obviously trying to get them to break their belief system, right? So you were how old when you got that $5,000 to buy your first car?
15.
15. Wow. So is that crazy? So here's the journey that many people are afraid to take, okay? So Talese, you probably at that point, what car did you want to buy? Let's start with that.
Well, I always liked Dodge Chargers and Challengers, and I was looking at both of them, and that just wasn't going to work with the budget. But then, since my dad had been going to these auctions, I knew that there was Dodge Chargers there, and so I think that's why I got
And these
that.
were like those old police cars, right?
Well, no, it was a 2013, and this
2013. Was but didn't you have to replace the middle console because it was a police
car?
It
just didn't have one. Yeah.
Right.
So online you can just buy like a center thing that goes there. It doesn't look as good as the actual like not cop car Chargers, but yeah, stock.
What did you so that $5,000 you paid $5,000 for the car? Yeah, okay. And then you drove it around for a while, fixed it up a little bit, cleaned it up.
Yeah.
How long did you have it?
I think like a year.
Like a year? Okay. And then at what point did you say, okay, I think it's time to like sell this thing? Like what went through your mind? Like,
well, I actually, I traded it for an Audi.
Okay. So you
and
traded
that Audi across? Was worth, yeah, but the Audi was worth $9,000 and I had bought that car for $5,000.
Gosh, how'd you land that deal? Dang.
Well, the Charger that I had was worth, I think.
Oh, because you only paid $5,000 for it.
No. Yeah, I paid $5,000 and it was worth like
$8,000 or something.
Yeah. Ugh, I can't remember.
Something like that though, right? And then the Audi was worth about that. And so it was sort of a straight across trade, although you only paid $5,000.
Yeah. So then I got more money out of it when I sold the Audi.
So what did you sell the Audi for?
I think $9,000.
$9,000? Oh my gosh. And then, okay, so now you got $9,000, you simmering in the bank. And then at that point, what did you do with that $9,000?
I invested it into the stock market. Well,
you bought Apple, didn't you? You look like an Apple chick, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. I think I invested $5,000. Right.
Okay. So you kept a few thousand out.
Yeah, and I don't know what I did with that, but it's long gone.
That disappeared. Okay. Yeah, so you went back to the 5,000. So $3,000 disappeared. Let's make a mental note here. Don't let money simmer. Because when I say simmer, when something simmers, the water just starts to disappear. We don't know where it went. So that's what happened with that money. Didn't your stocks go up?
So I put $5,000 in, and then after I think it was 2 years, it had basically almost doubled. I think I was at about 8,000 or 9,000. So, and then I bought a Kia, but
that's a pretty good gain.
I think I just used my own money for a down payment on that. I don't think that was with the stocks.
And then you sold the Kia again for what you bought it for, or?
So I think I bought the Kia for 23 and I had it for about a year and I sold it for 19 and it was
Okay.
worth 19. So,
Okay. And then
and
you
then
took the money from that.
yeah, I took the money from that and well, I had to pay it off and then I took the other amount and bought a Tesla with that money as a down. And
Oh,
then
so then that money went right to the Tesla, because I thought you used that money to buy the house.
no, I used the stock money.
Wait, I'm confused. Oh, so you had stock money still, and you
Mhm.
pulled all that out, and
Mhm.
then bought the house. But meanwhile,
The
got the
Kia
Oh,
was
right.
kind of just separate.
was it just a separate deal? Okay, all right. So
Mhm.
that wasn't part of that original $5,000 investment.
Mm-mm.
So kind of why I'm wanting to do this. I'm gonna do a little recap. So 5K, she buys a auction car, trades it for an Audi, upsell, so she gets her 8K in hard value, back, 9K back out in hard value, drops some money in stocks, lets 3K disappear to who knows what, nails, hair dye, that kind of thing, keeping the girls pretty. And then maybe scouting a new boyfriend, Jeff. Maybe it costs you $1,000 just looking for a
Had to
new
pay
man.
him. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Well, those apps cost money if you want to be at the top, don't they? I
I
want
did
to
not find
advertise.
Jeff on
I'm
an
kidding.
app.
Um, okay, so then you end up taking the money, putting it in stocks. Stocks do well. That was during Corona, right? Like kind of
Mhm.
that time
I
frame.
think right before is when I put it in.
Okay, and then you buy use it for a down payment on a house, and then the
Mhm.
house cash flow is about what right now?
Right now, it is making 2,200 a month. My payment is 16, so I get about 600 a month.
That's pretty good, and that's how
Mhm.
much of your Tesla payment?
Almost all of it.
Oh
My
dang!
car
So
payment's 975. So
so I don't know if you took my advice or it was coincidence, but remember I did share with you, please don't buy a Tesla until you buy a house.
yeah.
Did
And
you
I
take my
did. I
advice or
waited. Yeah.
did you just do it?
No, I waited. Remember, I
Yeah.
closed on my house and then got it.
Yeah, amen. So the advice here is like buy an asset that creates some sort of income that you can ultimately buy the thing that's going to be a liability. So don't buy liabilities unless it's from income of an asset in some way, shape,
Mhm.
or form. So it will support itself. So that way you get both. Now you got the asset, and the car. But
Mhm.
you're actually thinking of selling the Tesla, I
Yeah.
heard. What's going
Yeah.
on? That thing's the most
Um,
beautiful red with white
I
interior.
know.
There's none higher,
I know. It is
Talese.
beautiful. Yeah, I just don't drive very much out here now that I live here. And so I could just get a bigger car that could fit Coda Bear. Because the only
Right.
place I go is to take him to the park. So if
Like an
I get a car
SUV or
that's
something like that.
bigger,
So you're going practical, going away from the
yeah,
beauty.
and not like a crazy one either, just like a average mom car.
Nice. Okay. All
Yeah,
right. Well, cool. So like
Adulting.
adulting.
I
So
know.
what is your goals now moving forward? Okay. So you've made some make good choices up until this point. You've made some mistakes. We talked how you $3,000 just went to thin air. We have no idea where it went. Don't tell your bookkeeper or your tax guy because I don't know. It's gone.
No idea.
You got a receipt for that? Just write "gone" on a piece of paper. Yeah. So okay. So you got big plans moving forward.
Yeah.
And it's just the beginning stages, I think. But you did apply for an SBA to do what? SBA loan.
Open a coffee shop here in
Coffee shop.
Tallahassee.
Cool. This is
Yeah.
exciting. So 2023. All
Yeah.
right, let's tap into that just a little bit. I think that's exciting. I think a coffee shop is risky, so it's even more exciting. What do you think? Why are you not afraid to go into something like that, like right now, take a big loan out? Like, talk to me about that. Doesn't it? Most people be terrified or overwhelmed or what?
I
Why aren't you
think
scared like everyone else? What's going on here?
even if it doesn't work out, I'll learn a lot from it that will be worth the value. And I believe in myself. I think I can I think I can figure it out.
Well said. You don't have to say any
I
more.
might as well go for it.
Yeah, that is beautiful. Well put. I think you
Thanks.
see that kind of meme like all over the internet. It's like these stairs of failure get you to your ultimate success. Hey, it may hit, this may be it, but even if it's a success, some people still like go,
Yeah.
and then they sell it, or it doesn't mean it has to be your forever thing, right?
Yeah.
But for now, you've got this vision, and once you lock in on something, if I remember when you were a kid, you guys would say, well, every time the new iPhone or some sort of iPad came out, we couldn't stop you from getting one. Like, seriously. And
Oh, I'm
can
still
you,
like
still
that.
a thing.
can you take me up here and get this? We're like, yeah, we'll take you. We got to be there by 2. The guy's going to meet
Yeah.
us at 2:00. He's like, we're
From
getting such a good
KSL.
deal on it. We're like, all right, let's go. Like, and
Yeah,
you guys
that
are on a
hasn't
mission.
changed.
You and your brother, man. It's
I
been
have the newest phone. I have the newest laptop. Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, so what's the name of this coffee shop so we can watch for an upcoming? Because we're gonna have you back. I want to tap into, because I want to know how awesome it's going, or any pitfalls you're having, because that's gonna be really exciting to explore.
I don't know if I want to expose it yet
No,
It's a secret.
to the whole world.
you were in the beginning stage of this. I think you're on episode 7. So,
It is called Grind Coffee Shop.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
You guys got a logo already, right?
Mhm.
And you're working on the loan, and you got your business plan clearly, right? All
Mhm.
right. So, why would Talese Clark, why does she feel like a coffee shop is a good fit for her? Why not do, I don't know, a bookkeeping company, or, like a landscaping company, or, why
I
coffee?
drink coffee every single morning. If I don't have coffee, I'm not very happy. Um, I One of my favorite things to do is to go and relax at a coffee shop and maybe work while I'm there. Um, and here in Tallahassee, there's just not a place that's comfortable and has good coffee and good food, a good vibe for people. And so once I realized that, it was just exciting to talk about kind of creating that instead of just being sad about it.
So you're spreading happiness, it
Are
sounds
you
like.
a morning person? Would you say?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Do you not think I am?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Well, definitely with coffee, she's morning. When you
I
wake
think
up,
I'm a
Talese, do you
morning
think about
person.
coffee? Like, soon as you wake up?
Not as soon as I wake up, but like maybe like 10 minutes
Oh,
after.
I think of it right away. I'm on top of that. I'm that guy. What the Folgers commercial? Best part of waking up is full. Yeah,
It really
Folgers
is
in your
like
cup.
a really good part of the day, and I think it is that for a lot of people. So if I can bring that to people here in Tallahassee, I think it'll be cool.
But I think what you love too, about coffee, and it might explain why you don't think about it right away, is like you like the kind of coffee shop jam, right?
Mhm.
The
So
vibe.
not just like, hey,
Yeah.
get my coffee and guzzle it all day. There's
Mhm.
another element of that maybe wasn't always associated with coffee, right? But it's like a cultural kind of thing now, where like the coffee shop is this like place and a vibe
Yeah.
and a
Well,
feeling.
I'm kind of like that with restaurants too. I like to go to restaurants where it's like cozy and welcoming, and the music is just the right amount of like noise, the lights are just the right amount of brightness, and the vibes are just good. So
Cool.
I don't know, that just excites me.
Cool. So when are you guys gonna? What's the launch date? Let's see. Like, what's kind of the projected?
Not finalized yet.
Nothing. Okay. All right.
No.
Well, we'll leave it at that. Good job, Talese. We wish you the best, of course. What would you tell
Thanks.
some of the listeners here, about like maybe the SBA experience? Like, can anyone get an SBA loan from what you understand? Tell us about that.
Is it intimidating?
Is it intimidating? Should they be
Um,
intimidated?
it's a little bit intimidating, but once you start doing it, it's not very hard. You do have to have 10% down of whatever you're asking for, so that's something that you should know. Um, Creating a business plan really isn't that hard. There's a lot of templates out there to help you.
So just don't fear it. You seem so casual. Are you just like some genius kid?
Just
Yeah.
No big deal.
I did a business plan,
Yeah.
and then, I mean, come on. What's stopping people from just chasing their dreams? There's got to be something.
Every time I talk to people, it's just, yeah, I'll probably do that in a few years. So I think it's just people thinking that now isn't the right time, even though now is the time. You should do it now because
Right.
you
Like,
might not
I
get
mean,
the
if that's the thing they
opportunity.
want to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why make it plan B all the time?
Yeah.
Why don't you make your job plan B?
Mm-hmm. And that's
Right.
the same as even buying a house. A lot of people are like, oh, I'll do it in a year, or oh, the market's not right. And it's like, just buy it. If I wouldn't have bought my house last year, I wouldn't have had anything. And now I'm a year later and I already have like 20, 30,000 in equity. And
Right.
everyone told me to wait, but why wait?
Well, didn't cost you anything.
Yeah,
Your
nothing.
tenants paid for the equity,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they'll continue to do that. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm assuming there's another house in the works, right?
Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah, I would like to buy another one at least within the next year, hopefully sooner.
Yeah, I know with real estate, I tell people all the time that, like, even if I'm not full-time real estate, because I'm chasing some of my other passions, I can never not invest. I know
Mm-hmm.
way too much, right? Once you know so much, you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll probably have investments
Well,
pretty
and
much
it's such an
forever.
easy side thing too. Like
Oh,
it's so easy.
yeah, for a side hustle, is it not?
Yeah.
Out of any business you could start, affiliate marketing or whatever, right? Like,
Seriously.
come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell people that all the time. They're like, investing's hard. Mm,
Wait.
just buying a house and renting it out is not that
No,
hard,
not at all. And
especially if you're not getting creative like how we're pretty creative in our
mm-hmm.
ventures generally. And so, but if you just wanted to pay 20% down on a turnkey home, rent it, put 20% down on a turnkey home, rent it,
Yeah, super
that's not that
easy.
hard. That you it's not you don't have to know anything. You
Mm-hmm.
have to know a realtor.
Yep, which you can Google.
So, did you think it was hard, like finding tenants, or do you
No.
like you don't have a property management company or anything?
No,
You
I
just handle it all
I
yourself.
don't. I do it all myself. Before I had bought the house, I looked at rentals in the area and made sure it was going to be a good area and that whatever my payment was, I would make more than it is, no matter what, basically. Um, from the moment I listed it, I think within a week I had tenants lined up. It was pretty quick. Um, it was kind of a hassle letting people into the house, not being there. I had a few
Mm-hmm.
locks that were had to be broken because the key would go missing or the key combination wouldn't work. So there's definitely a few things that can
And
get in
so
the
you
way,
were
but it's
standing on
worth
the
it.
edge of a bridge, huh? You're
Yeah.
like, this is it.
I can't
I
do it
can't do it
anymore.
anymore.
I'm done.
Well, to those of you who think that is a lot, maybe it isn't for you, but I think just a day at any job could be more stressful than that,
Yeah.
right? Like those are the kind of problems you get at pretty much anywhere you work.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely worth it. I just remember at first thinking like, it's kind of annoying, but the tenants have been in there for almost a year now, and they're not moving out until March. So
So, how many hours per month do you have to spend worrying about the property?
absolutely zero.
Well, you at least check and make sure the rent payment comes in, right?
Well, yeah, maybe like 2 minutes, but
I tell
they
my
always send the
investor,
check. So
I tell my investor students all the time. I'm like, listen, on New Year's when everybody's like 3, 2, 1, investors have a way different view in that moment. They're like, paycheck.
woo,
in that one moment because it's the first of the
it's the
month.
first. That's
So investors, when you see an investor celebrating on New Year's, it's a different game.
I said as long as everyone pays on time.
Oh, I know,
yeah.
right? So that can be a problem too, and that there are issues that you can run into. But yeah, as long as you vet,
Yeah.
you can eliminate a lot of that. Cool. All right. Well, it's been fun. How has your experience been with the two of us today? You doing all
Good.
right? We're taking
Yeah, it
good
was
care
fun.
of you.
Yeah.
All right. What would
You're
you
being a
tell?
little mean, but
Yeah, we'll try to lighten up on our next guest. But so Talese, I'm going to kind of wrap this up. For conclusions today is, and you hear this a lot too, but first of all, thank you for being such an inspiration to young people. This is super, super cool. Hopefully whoever sees this knows that like it's completely possible, right? And I do have to say that we did kind of groom Talese. Obviously, we're real estate investors, but she's the one who took action. She could have done anything else. And quite frankly, we have other kids who do other stuff. They don't actually do what we recommend. So I got to give you points for that. And I'm just so happy it's working out for you, because that's really the only reason we wanted that for you, in any sort of guidance that we had given you. But the fact that you took action, took responsibility, you do believe in yourself, and we like watching you blossom and bloom. And I'm thinking, I mean, even though you're only 20 now, I do think by the time you're like, I'm just going to give you a 5 years, 25, from my perspective, I'll probably be learning some stuff from you, because you're going to be well on your way to full on entrepreneurship, maybe through a few failures, but you'll be in a place where you'll be probably bringing really cool stuff to me at that point. That and I look forward to that, and I'm eager to kind of watch that all happen. So
Yeah, me too. That'd be cool.
yeah.
Did you know this? Let me tell you about this.
Well, in closing, that's the whole point, right? Is like you ultimately just want your kids to kind of outgrow you, and like really just, that's the whole point of kind of trying to get them to level up, and then launch from there. So well, cool. So if we could have you back sometime, that would be neat too. I'd love to see how the coffee shop's coming. Thanks for sharing the private information with us, by the way, to all 8 of our followers.
Yeah, don't tell anyone.